my case, I take a long time to decide on a subject. Sometimes halfway through, after some time, I lose interest in it. I just keep it aside. Sometimes in the beginning, the idea strikes and it sounds, I get the feeling that it's going to be wonderful. And then after some days, then again when you ruminate over it, you do not find that kind of interest in it anymore. You leave it. Like that, my rate of rejection of ideas is very high, very high. Finally, when there is that thrust coming from within, and I find that the idea has the potential to be developed into a film. And this idea should have such that kind of energy and strength within that should take me through all this whole arduous process of making it. This is a long process of making it. Cinema is one great form of art where the creation is done in the midst of so many people. Every other art is the experience recollected in tranquility. That is how it is created. Here it is done in the public. You have to forget about the 100, 200 people standing around, while you are shooting. Your crew will number something like not less than 100 people at a time. So with all of them, you have to make this. This is a very, very, very strange kind of a process of making that is involved in the filmmaking. So every time I go through every process, I am personally involved in everything. There is nothing is left to. It's not like somebody edits or somebody scores music for me. It's not like that. I am also involved in every part of making of the film. So I spend a lot of time in the very process of thinking about it, then writing down a script. Then I write in such scripts in such detail that everything will be worked out, and very little will be left out. In fact, once there was a collaborator, a technical collaborator who came from France, and I had shot the film, I had edited it, I had also prepared a separate script for my sound. He saw my script. He said, I have never seen somebody who has prepared a sound script. What all sounds will go into it. So that's how I work. In fact, we have this. First thing you notice when you come to India for somebody who is from abroad is the noise. There is so much noise in our daily life. Not in Shantiniketan. Not in Shantiniketan. There is still Shanti here. It's an island of Shanti.
Human emotions and the complexities of human life are being seen being one of the pivotal area of your filmmaking. So my question is, why is that? Why did you choose that? Why did you choose to show the human emotions and the complexities of human life the way you portrayed in your movies? So why is that? Just a
if there is no human emotions, life will be terrible.
No. Why did you choose that to portray?
Why did I portray? That's what I'm saying. Without emotions, without feelings, human beings, it has no meaning. They will have no meaning. There will be no meaning for their existence. So it is in the feelings, it is in the emotions that we live. You say that emotion is at the feeling level, then you have an intellectual level. You have to understand and then you feel, or feel and understand. It's either way, or both. This is how it works.
Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Sanita Chatterjee, I'm from CGMC. My question is that yesterday we were talking about the development of, the rapid development of digital technology. And I think Gautam Ghosh was also there, he talked about the development of digital aesthetics. So at this moment, what do you feel that how has it affected you, how has technology affected your filmmaking, and especially digital technology, and how are you, or how do you think filmmakers should, accept this new development, or what should they do, or what is your opinion on that?
See, before the advent of technology, very often we have no choices. Even if I want to continue making films, actually there is no film. We are left in cinema only now. No film. There is no film now. Film is the celluloid which runs through the camera and then later through the projector and then brings in the experience of cinema. That is no more there. Actually, today we are dealing with cinema which is not palpable. Before I made the last film, I used to boast that my films are handmade. I cannot say it anymore because I cannot even touch it. I cannot feel it. There is only a box, which you say is the hard disk. Sometimes the hard disk can open, sometimes it need not open. So it is almost like magic, we used to do in the old days, before the start of the everyday shooting, people used to do puja and all that, so that something will be, the image should be printed on recorded on the film and it should be properly developed, nothing should happen because we do Ganesh puja and all that, Today, I think we have to do much more puja, so of course we don't know what is there. We may play it back at that moment, immediately after the shot is taken, we may play it back and look at it. It's possible. So, during my lifetime, I have gone through so many changes in filmmaking. This has been happening, one after the other. We get adjusted slowly, slowly. When I made my first film, there was no color film was not available for us. It used to be given to only those productions which can bring that much foreign exchange to the country. So you cannot assure them. If they look at our past performance, there is no way of impressing them that I deserve to be given the color film because it is a lot more costly for the state. So you have no choice. You had no choice but to make films in black and white. After a time, I think it was during Morarji's time, it was all relaxed. There was a liberation. So everybody turned to color. And every film was made in color, that all the black and white labs were closed down. Even if you wanted to make the film in black and white, you could not. So you are left without any choice. So this is what happened. So in fact, I still remember when Akalir Sandhani was made, there was a widespread criticism from the so-called journalist critics that here is poverty portrayed in black and color. Actually, poverty can be better. People did not realize it, but that poverty can be best expressed in color, in the true colors, not necessarily in black and white. So this was a blind approach. When this Doordarshan, in the beginning, they were planning to, the first thing that started in Delhi, it was in black and white. The color had not developed at that time. So that color came in all over the world, and there was a whole discussion about whether our television this thing should be in color or black and white. So there was a big argument in favor of black and white, and said, India is a poor country, we cannot afford color. So, but there was one minister of IRB, a Maharashtrian minister, I forget his name, Salvi. He insisted it will be only color, and we were very happy, we clapped. Yes, good decision. That's how our television became in color. See, these things have been happening. So I said, when I joined the Film Institute to study cinema, it was in this campus, which was formerly a well-known studio, Prabhat Studio, where very important filmmakers like Shantaram used to be making films. So even after the Film Institute was started, the area was rented out, some parts of it, the garden and things like that. They were rented out for shooting by private producers. So I used to see two cameras running at the same time. One camera was meant for the picture, the other was for the sound. So even while I was in the institute, it changed. Then they introduced uh, audio tapes. Difference was, it was again like a film only, but it was perforated tape. That was the difference. Here again it was running parallelly. Okay, then before I left the institute, they introduced, the technology introduced quarter-inch tape for recording. There was no wide 35 mm tapes. Quarter-inch tape was introduced, and no perforations, nothing. The quarter-inch will run in a small this Nagra recorder, Swiss-made Nagra recorder. It was a marvel at that time. So people used to wonder at the capability of this small little thing. It will run in sync, and it will be synchronous with the sync. So I happened to buy this. My first film was really, this was the first ever film in India after sound was invented, which was shot outdoors, with direct sound. So these days, people come and ask me, why don't you do direct sound? I said, I was the first to do it. In 1972, we did the whole film with this thing. So since my sound engineer was, he had a good training and he was a good technician, and he was confident that we could get everything, 100 feet short, 200 feet short, it will be running in sync. So, but we had to, for doing the editing and all that, we had to transfer it, to optical track. So we went to Madras. In Madras was the studios were, there was a mixer, it will be one wall to the other, wall to wall breadth was there. So many tracks, this and that. The chief sound engineer sat behind it like a Maharaja. He had 2-3 assistants operating around. So that was the kind of aura about the recording. So we went with this small recorder, this size. My sound engineer very humbly said, sir, we want to transfer it to film. He looked at the recorder and then looked at the tape, and he said in Tamil, "Idu sync-le varadu." That means it won't go in sync, because it's so small, tiny. This man started recording there for years, where he was not aware of what was happening. So my sound engineer told him, sir, very humbly told him, sir, we will try and see. So that's like it was like a trial. We transferred the sound. Of course, everything was in sync. So those were the times. Every 2 years, 3 years, new things were happening, and all the experiments with the sound. In fact, all the real changes happened in the sound first. And today, I was very worried about. In fact, the new technology came. The digital technology was supplied in the films, not out of any aesthetic reasons. It was a sheer commercial reason. Because now what happens is, you have to spend at least 1 lakh of rupees to make one print. Today, the possibility is that you can uplink it, your film, to the satellite, and then from the satellite it goes to those machines, timed and all that. You can reproduce it. So today now films are, even in a small place like Kerala, films are released in 200 cinemas together. So film, whether there is an audience or not, it will run for at least 1 week. Good or bad, by the opinion comes, you will have collected your money. You have to do good publicity, that's the thing. Sometimes you will lose even the rental that you pay for the theatre. Sometimes you also make money out of it. This is the proposition. So this was the basic reason. But then when you look at an image from a regular film and a digitally produced image, there is a lot of difference. The digital technology is yet to perfect the kind of reproduction that was possible before. But all the same, I was very cautious about using the new technology. So I had to read a lot, I had to discuss a lot with my technicians, even others. And finally, I with great trepidation, I approached it. Finally, when I started shooting, my God, it was so convenient. It was so convenient. So convenient that immediately after a shot is taken, I could replay it, look at monitor. If I wanted something to be corrected, I could do that on the spot, all that. Formerly, before, you shoot on location and they send a negative for processing to a city like Madras. And after your shooting is over, you go there, develop it, and see the thing as fresh as. And if you want to correct something, it's not possible. Otherwise, you'll have to go and reshoot it without, assemble all the crew, the artists, all that. Impossible situation. So today, you are very sure about what you have shot. That is very, very important. And it is, the only thing is it has to be properly handled. People are not sure whether this will be really, be reproduced at a time when you really want it. So what we do is now we are spending much more. We are taking two more copies. One is taken immediately after it is copied into two other tapes like that. So we are not sure. This uncertainty is hanging over us. This is what happens. So the new technology, again, it is very convenient now because if you want to shoot a street scene, say in twilight, where there is light from the sources of these tungsten lights and others, and also the daylight. If you want to shoot that kind of a lighting condition, and in the street, without anybody noticing it, you can do the shooting, provided you are not engaging a star, on the street. You can shoot beautifully, and so many films have been shot already like that. It could not have been done during the optical films time because you have to light up the whole street if you want to have somebody walking and then it be seen like that time. So there has been a lot of new advantages that has come with the new technology. So let us use it. It is very good. It is useful. It may have small little disadvantages, but then I think it will be covered in no time. Because today in India, all over India, our kind of registration quality is 2K, they say. But rest of the world it is 4K. They are trying to in fact improve upon that. So we are far behind in fact in terms of technology. And even this 2K will not be there in bad projections, in the bad theatres, bad screens. This is what is happening.
I was actually looking at your film posters. They are very different. Like the film poster of the Swayamvaram, the film The Swayamvaram. It was quite different from others. So I just want to share your ideas about how a film poster can be, how it can actually reach trigger the inner view of a director in some ways. Just share your view with us. Thank you, sir.
Actually, Swayamvaram was my first film that was made in 1972. 7 years after I passed out of the Film Institute in Pune. So after a long time I was making this film. I was particularly interested in making our people to realize that cinema is a very important medium. Until then, in fact, there have been very successful films made, some of them even to some extent worthwhile. But the problem was the cinema had a very low esteem in the minds of the people. And in the university, they will not even talk about cinema. They will not spell the word, cinema in the universities. It was considered an untouchable. So it had such low esteem. I had to surmount this. Because in fact, just before making, a few years before making Swayamvaram, we had the 5th All India Writers Conference held in Kerala. It was a very big event, and the people who were involved in it, and people who were really leading that event were some of the very important writers in Malayalam in Kerala. So I had good contact with writers because I had great respect for writers because I used to be a fairly good reader. Then during the vacations, I used to come home from Pune and I used to renew my contact with these writers because I liked them. I had the occasions when there were meetings held and then all that. So I used to talk to them, these two, three of them, like a, the what do you call, the gospel of good cinema. That with great enthusiasm I used to talk to them. So as soon as I came back from the institute, I started the Film Society in Trivandrum for the first time in Kerala, and then with an aim to promote it, promote the formation of societies all over Kerala. That was the scheme. So this All India Writers Conference was one occasion I thought something could be done to take cinema, on par with the other art forms, because there were presentations of best of theatre, best of Kerala's classical art forms like Kudiyattam, Kathakali, and even some of the folk arts. All that were presented at this seminar, at the writers' conference. So they asked me, one of them, he is considered to be a great intellectual of Kerala, M. Govindan, he is no more. So he asked me, can you, because he has been hearing me talking about cinema, for a while, with great enthusiasm and involvement. So he said, why not do a film festival, international film festival in Kerala? Can you do it? So I had some little experience of having run a film society. So I said, yes, we'll do it. So I took it up, and I said, and this international film festival became a part of the Writers' Conference. And we had this festival run all over Kerala, because at that time Kerala had 9 districts. So we added one more district in Tamil Nadu, that is formerly part of erstwhile Travancore state, Nagarkoil. So with that, in 10 centers, we had a festival of 21 films. All these 10 centers had these films being shown. After one screening, it will go to the next center like that. So all over Kerala, it was like a big storm. It's a big wave of cinema from all over the world. We had only 2 Indian filmmakers featured in that. One was Rithi Katak, the other was Satyajit Ray, of course. Those were the only 2 Indian filmmakers shown. So, and some of the best of world cinema were being shown. And that shook up the people. My God, they realized, well, film societies, they were seeing films, but that was not enough. So this was the whole state was being exposed to a different kind of cinema. This was, my secret plan was this. And in the introduction to that small little booklet we brought out on the occasion, I wrote that after the event is over, there will be one film society started in each of these centers. In 10 centers, film societies were started. So the same enthusiasts, who were involved in it, they were leading it. In 10 years' time, before that, West Bengal used to be the place where we had the maximum number of film societies in the country. Just we overtook them in the sense we had 100 film societies running in Kerala in 10 years' time. So that's how we made some kind of impact about the gospel of good cinema amongst the people. That's what happened. So when Swayamvaram was made, I was coming to that. This was the background. When Swayamvaram was made, I had so many friends amongst the artists, of Kerala. Some of them very, very outstanding artists. So there was who is no more, M.B. Devan, who is no more. He is one of the leading artists who was also good at, he was like a guru to others. He was a disciple of K.C.S. Panikkar, the famous painter. So under his leadership, we asked him, please collect all the artists and ask them to do posters for this film. Everything has to be different about this film. The posters should look like there is a different kind of film being brought to them, not the typical advertisements posters. So they all stayed with us for a week and they did their paintings. So the posters were made out of those paintings. So this is what happened. So it was a collaborative approach to cinema from the artist class. That's what happened.
Ghatak, Ray, Sen, Adoor, Buddhadev, Gautam Ghosh. They are adored by the world of cinema. And they're all, in a sense, detail-mans and minimalist also. Even considering Shatranj Ki Khilari of Satyajit Ray, I'm talking. And they are accepted as representatives of India. There are exceptions. Dangal made huge business in China. So China thinks that it's India's cultural invasion. There are things like that, but these are exceptions. Now my point is, whom in this series, after Gautam Babu, do you have anyone in your vision? That's my question.
That who will?
After Gautam Babu,
Yes.
is there anyone or any two or three?
You should have included, in the list, you should have included Girish Kasaroli.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking.
Amongst those in the whole list.
Right,
But then
right.
we are of varying characters,
Yeah,
We are not of the same, we don't belong to the same Karana, all of us.
that's true, that's true. But an essential characteristic is
But
like
then
that
when you
with
talk
the- yeah.
about important filmmakers, Girish Kasaroli is a big omission that you mentioned. And so
Right, and after Girish Kasaravalli?
there are very many young promising filmmakers. One of them is Vipin Vijay, who passed out of SRFTI.
Acha, Vijay.
Vipin Vijay.
Vipin Vijay.
Vipin Vijay.
He has made a couple of short films. They have been internationally. He has won several awards. But most important thing is, I see very few people who are prepared to do the hard work. And everybody wants to get immediate recognition. Success in terms of even all the material success.
Yeah.
Yes. And they want to be this and that too very quickly.
So a period of lull is appearing. no?
There's no lull. No, there's no lull. It's a period of hard work is there.
Before that there is
There's a
period.
lot of work, hard work.
Right.
See, Satyajit Ray did not have it very easily.
Yeah.
He had the great advantage, of course, because he was the first. The whole world was looking up to India at that time. What India was going to do when it became a free country, and his growth was along with that. And Mrinal Sen had to struggle a lot to be recognized. And Katak was terribly frustrated with his eccentricities. He had touched the height as well as the bottom in his career, in his films. So, I will not keep Buddhadev anywhere near them. So, we are all belonging to different characters, different regions, different outlooks, approaches. We should not be talked about together. All these 4 or 5 names, they all belong to different categories. Yes.
From the Western, how they accept our filmmakers, great filmmakers. Only on the basis of the TikTok.
No, Ray without any question.
Yeah.
Yes. And then Katak was such a genius, and he happened to be accepted long after his death. He never attended any festival. He never had any film shown in any festival during his lifetime. So his was a bad case because he was thoroughly disorganized personally. That was the reason. Whereas Mrinal Sen was very well organized. But he had to struggle a lot to be even noticed. When the notice came, it came one after the other like that. He got established as a very outstanding filmmaker like that.
She wants to make a question for a very quick answer. And then
Ans-
it's in your hand, everything.
Question should be quick. Yeah.
Just on behalf of the students, I just want to ask this question that, I have seen a Kurosawa interview where he is saying that, if you don't have money to make films, since you are talking about struggle, if you don't have money to make films, you should write screenplays. You should write screenplays.
I have never said that.
No, not you. Kurosawa has said that.
Kurosawa, good,
Yes.
good.
So he has said that you should write screenplays because he was asked that, if people don't have money, then how will they, how will they
But
practice?
that's what he did, and then the
And you also
all
write your
all the
film.
major filmmakers from USA came to his rescue, and then he went even to USSR to make his film.
Yes. No, my question
But
is.
here, if you write your screenplay, by that time you will starve to death.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That how do you think that how much important is writing for before starting to shoot?
You should
or-
write your own script, not for others. No, actually, I don't understand people. In India, it's very common. Somebody writes a script,
Yes, yes.
and somebody has the story, and then this man goes and shoot that. Now, that is no filmmaking. In fact, that means it's a kind of what do you call it? It's a very, very physical labor only. Start and cut and all that kind of thing.
Yes.
Assembly line. So, what is a script? Script is your idea of cinema on paper. This is only a reference. In fact, that is not the final thing. Even in my work, although I write very detailed script, that is not final. I am not copying my script. This is a preparation, a reference, not final,
Yes.
not at all final. Even when I have completed the shooting, that is not the final thing. When I work on it, then I feel something has to be thrown out, I throw out. Something has to be corrected, I do that.
So you think
nothing
a
is
film-
final
film-
until I sit with the lab technician and then correct my color corrections
So
are
you
made.
think a filmmaker should also be a good writer?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
That's it. That's
Yes.
my question.
Incidentally, he also won a national award for writing a book on cinema. So it's not only he writes very well in Malayalam. He has got his own style. So he is also a writer. Sometimes I think he claims basically that I am a writer, and then
Then your background, I started writing poetry in the beginning. Then I started writing short stories. Then I started writing plays. And I thought theatre was my place. And I even got some of my plays published. That was the time when I happened to see that a film institute was started in Pune. That's how without knowing anything about cinema, I was not even a regular film goer. Without knowing anything about cinema, in fact, what I was attracted to was the screenplay writing part. Most of the people hate it, writing screenplays. They hate it because that is a lot of work. Shooting is much easier. So, in fact, I applied for admission there because there was this course called Screenplay Writing and Direction. So, the writing part attracted my attention. I thought I'll learn more about it because I kept on writing, and then suddenly when I started international plays written by great authors from outside, then my production came less and less. I became more and more cautious. So I wanted to learn even more. That's how I went to the institute. And there my theatre background helped me a lot in the sense, I started as an actor also. So I used to act, direct, produce, write, all that. So my work in the theatre helped me a lot. I still think that anybody who wants to become a director should also do theatre. Because you should know how to handle the artist, very important. Because each person is different. Each actor is different. His makeup is different. It's not only physical, it's mental, everything is so different. So you have to treat each one separately, individually. And children are the most difficult to direct, I have found. Yes, because I always tell people, look, I don't allow any of my assistants to coach the children. I myself do it. The children have the advantage when they come to a set with so many people, and the intelligent boys and girls, they will immediately spot the most important person there. That is you. When you are the director, you are the person. They will listen only to you. So I tell everybody else, don't ever coach him, don't give the dialogue or thing, I just handle it. Only thing, because you know why? You give an instruction to a child, and later you want to improve it. You cannot. You cannot, because they cannot process an information. This is the time when they are only taking things in. So this is one great lesson I learned while directing children. So I have to think twice, thrice, 4 times, 10 times before instructing a child about what to do. The most intelligent child is incapable of learning it differently. Once you give the instruction, it is there. That's it. It cannot be corrected. They are not actors. That has to be understood. They will imitate you. They have to imitate you. You have to tell them.
Adoor, how difficult was it for Girish to handle the actor Adoor?
In fact, I was a very good actor.
Have you published your literary pieces?
Pardon?
Have you published your literary pieces? Because you said that you were writing novels.
Yeah, it's available in book.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's available.
Yes.
In what language?
In Malayalam.
My scripts have been published in English also.
No, she's asking about the other articles.
Articles.
The writings.
They are not translated. No, not yet.
You interrupted the question.
Yes.
The actor.
No, in fact, I can tell you this information. When this film was shot, I was very ill. And Girish comes from another city, Bangalore. He comes all the way with his crew. I could not tell him, I did not want to tell him, look, Girish, I am not well. Let us postpone it and do it another time. I did not want to tell him. So even though I was very ill, I was talking and asking his questions and all that. If you listen very carefully to the way I talk, you will realize that this man is very exhausted, very tired and very ill. You can feel it there. So I was a good actor for him. I never interfered with his work, never proposed anything, no suggestions. Whatever he wanted me to ask, I did that. So that was how. So I was a good actor.
So thank you. We have to wind up this session.